All right, I'm going to tell a Blackpill story here. So, this was back a couple years ago. I was working in a corporate environment and I was actually having some trouble sleeping and some problems with digestion. And so, those have since been fixed. But at the time, this was troubling me and it was making me skinnier than I would otherwise be. And so I was kind of too skinny. And I've always been lean. I've never been chunky before. And but at this point I was too skinny. And so basically I was going into this corporate job and in hindsight, maybe one of the girls in the office, kind of low key had a little crush on me, one out of 6 of the girls, while the other 5 were kind of mean to me typically. And, in hindsight, I can kind of see how there was a black pill aspect to this, being too skinny at the time and, sort of a framelit and, I don't know. Yeah, just having a tired looking appearance in the face due to the fact that I was, having difficulty sleeping. Had a lot of upper and lower eyelid exposure, just looked kind of sad and wilty at that time. And so basically, I had this long hair. I had kind of almost like a Justin Bieber type of hair cut going on, but it was just getting too long. My sideburns were getting really curly, and my hair was just getting really swoopy. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a fresh start. I'm annoyed by this hair, touching down by my eyebrows and just having to swoop it away all the time. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just buzz my shit. And so, I took out the 1 clippers and I just buzzed it. And, I really had no concept of hairlines or what's a flattering hair, for you. I just thought at that time really, I was really red pilled, really into confidence. I just thought at that time hey, if I perceive anything wrong physically with myself, it's just sort of a body dysmorphia type of thought. So just ignore that. Any haircut can work on any guy. I can pull off whatever I need to pull off as long as, I have the confidence to back it up and I don't make a thing out of it. So that being said, I was like, okay, I can buzz my hair and it's going to work good. So I buzzed it off. I come in the next day and my hairline is super far back. I can get away with it when I have medium to longer length hair because, I can swoop my bangs forward or to the side and it just kind of looks like a typical gelled hair. But, my hairline is really far up. It's always been that way since I was a kid. I never really encountered any hair loss, but my hairline's just always been super far back. And so I have kind of a widow's peak thing going on. And so that being said, when I buzzed it, it was all bad. It was all bad when I buzzed it. And I go in the next day and the looks that I got from people, from the girls, it was crazy. It was like I was a sex offender or something. It was just insane. And I was like, hey, everybody all right? Just kind of what's going on? It seemed like they had an intervention about me or something. And they're all on the same page, shun him, and with the red pill stuff, such a long history of that mindset, I am rather confident, I am rather relaxed and I am rather, low neuroticism type of individual. And so, I'm kind of okay, whatever, and I keep doing my thing. But I would just notice that the work that I would do, in a sales type of context, I was the best one in the office, but the work that I would do, they would be so critical of it and they would be just so skeptical that like the deals that we were doing, that like, my part was accounted for in any meaningful way. They were just so skeptical about it. And it was like, everything I would do and say, it was just like wrong, and we'd be in meetings and like, they kind of snicker about me, or like there would be, and I wasn't used to this because, for a while I had the J Beebs hair going on, not exactly like that, but it was, like that length, and, shit was going good. I had kind of like the fashy cut, let's say, as well, where it was like, short on the sides and swooped over to one side or the other on the top, and, kind of had like a little Machine Gun Kelly type of thing going on, but like, when I buzzed it off, it was just over from that point. Like, it was just, hostility coming my way from the females, and then like the males are going to somewhat mirror that a little bit, especially in an HR controlled corporate environment. It's not going to be a boys club. They're not going to dictate the politics of what's going on. So, that's what happened when I buzzed my hair. It was just like, hey, my alarm went off, so it interrupted my sentence there, but let's go back to it. So, the girl that had a crush on me, that crush went away, and really never saw me the same after that. After kind of looking like a rat, like I was never physically seen the same by her, and so that was a thing. And then, the other girls, they went from like neutral or like kind of resentful toward me to just like straight up hostile, and, I really, in hindsight, like I was being nice, I was being confident, I was being appropriate. But all of those personality traits were like inverted in their perception because of the way that I looked during that period of time. And that shit took like 6 months to get back to like an okay length. It was brutal. And, and I was like fun maxed out in that office, like I was, like the guys, if it was a big collective situation where there were girls there too, like they might act a little shady or something, but like, with just me and the guys, like that type of thing, when we were just by ourselves, like it was great. We're playing ping pong, it was gravy. But like, when the girls were introduced into it, man, they really took offense to that haircut.